It's my great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. C.K. Patel, who is the President-elect for the I just want to say a few words about Mr. C.K. Patel. I've had the fortune of being able to meet him yesterday and have a chance to speak with him, and it's my pleasure to be able to talk to you about him and give you a few more details about him. Mr. C.K. Patel is a known community activist and will be taking you momentarily as the president of the NFIA, which represents 2.5 million Indian Americans in the USA. Mr. C.K. Patel is also a known hotelier who was the first Indian in the world to build, own, and operate a full-service oceanfront Hilton resort in the city of Dana Point. Quite an accomplishment. He currently owns and operates many hotels and other real estate properties, both here and in India. As a community service activist, Mr. Patel runs a charity hospital in Himalnagar, Gujarat. And I've had the pleasure of being able to converse with him in Gujarati, which he said he picked up while he was there. So please welcome Mr. C.K.
Good evening to everyone. Honorable Ambassador, Mr. Ronan Sen, Mrs. Sen, our Councilwoman, Mrs. Thomas, Council General, respected dignitaries, respected awardees, all the dignitaries, sitting here in the room, my NFIA colleagues and friends. Indeed, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all on the 15th Biennial Convention of National Federation of Indian American Associations. NFIA has come a long, long way since the day it was conceived back in the year 1980 under the dynamic leadership of Thomas Abraham. And it has been nurtured by all our past presidents and many others. There are a number of organizations in US that exist to address concern of people belongs to a specific field or profession, such as a whole, which deals with issues concerning hotel owners, and API, which deals with issues concerning medical professionals. And similarly, there are numerous other organizations. But uniquely, very uniquely, NFIA is the only organization that we have which actually provides a single platform to address concerns of all Indians in general, regardless of their professional affiliation, their religious background, or the language they speak. As I speak to all of you tonight, I remember once Bill Clinton, during his presidency, said that our Congress is a do-nothing Congress. I don't want NFIA to go there. I want NFIA to be a do-everything NFIA. Well, not literally, but essentially in the context that we are discussing tonight. NFIA no doubt has the potential that is still to be explored. दुनिया जिसे कहती है जादू का खिलौना है, मिल जाए तो मिट्टी है और खो जाए तो सोना है. And during my 2-year term, I want to make NFIA what it was basically conceived for. Those who are new to NFIA concept, let me tell you that NFIA is an umbrella organization enveloping all other various organizations with only one mission, and that mission is to make lives of millions of Indian Americans better by addressing the concern that our Indo-American community has. Those concerns could be related to their professional goals, social goals, or political goals. Honorable Indian Ambassador Mr. Ronan Sen is among us tonight. I would kindly ask him for every possible support that he can provide us to make NFIA stronger and more powerful in resolving issues at hand. Besides making NFIA a force to reckon within US, I also want to make its presence felt in Indian social political arena. Friends, my goal is to organize a World Leadership Conference in India on October 2nd, 09 at Gandhi Ashram, Ahmedabad, to invite leaders of the United Nations and others to celebrate second anniversary of International Day for Non-Violence as it was passed in United Nations over 1.5 years ago, with concept that all different nations are spending enormous amount of money of their budget to stop terrorism. But we haven't seen any result yet. This money could be put to better use if we all come together to find a solution of this world problem by following the Gandhian philosophy of non-violence. Honorable Ambassador, several months back, when I was having breakfast with former India Caucus co-chair, Honorable Congressman Ed Royce, who told me that Indian community had adopted great value to American life. Congressman Ed Royce and I even joked that it was becoming impossible to find a hospital without an Indian doctor or a hotel without an Indian owner. We all recognize the fact that we adopted this land for a better life, and better life is exactly what this country has provided us. Millions of Indian people have come here and succeeded in realizing their dreams that they could not have otherwise realized in any other country on the face of this earth. Indians have earned fame here in almost every field, and at the same time also earned good amount of money. There is no denying of this fact. But, my friend, I tell you, if you invest your money, and I would request all of you, if you have any little saving, please try to invest your money in India, otherwise I think you will miss the boat, because the rate of return that you can realize on your investment in India would be far greater than what you are realizing here, which is my personal experience that I am telling you from. As an Indian with a strong family and moral values, I feel that it is time to give back to this country also, whatever possibly we can in our own capacity. As is evident from the currently concluded US elections, we all know now that race or ethnicity is no bar. In achieving your goal, if you have the right vision to serve your country. US and India have so many similarities. These two oldest and